Any mini, miny, schmo, catch all ballast by the toe. If he holler, let him go. Any mini, miny, schmo. Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Lazar, and that intro had nothing to do with today's topic. Today, what we're going to be doing today is diving deeper into the Sepulcrum, this outstanding secondary weapon that you can farm from Heart of Deimos. That said, keep in mind that my builds and guides usually take a new player friendly approach. I'm gonna take my time and explain whatever I feel is necessary for new players. We got a basic setup, a cheapo build that most tenors should be able to build, but of course we also have a souped up setup with prime mods and everything. And we're gonna be talking about Rivens as well. So in case you're a vet, and you already know most of this stuff, please, bear with me. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the Sepulcrum. Let's begin by checking out how the weapon handles without any mods equipped, and for that, just a couple of free shots. The Sepulcrum is an Entrati Orokin weapon, and I do highlight the fact that it's Entrati because you farm it from the Heart of Deimos, you gotta farm it a little bit, you gotta get all sorts of tokens, and in Entrati fashion, this one is absolutely huge when it comes to the actual size of the weapon. Perhaps somebody's actually they have that big right arm, and that's the reason why. Obviously, my friends. Now this one is a bit more than meets the eye. Take a look at my crosshairs. You see that? It's kind of special, quite special indeed. And underneath that crosshairs, you're gonna see a bar that constantly charges as long as you get kills with the weapon. Take a look. I got a kill on my target and now my bar is fully charged and has that slight glowing effect to it. Only now I can access the secondary fire of the weapon when it's good and fully charged. And again, you charge it on kills. But for the primary fire is your basic burst affair. You're going to be firing 2 projectiles per shot, your magazine of 90, but again, you are firing 2 bullets per shot. So effectively 45 shots till you need to reload. And trust me, you'll hate the reload on this one. But let's talk about the good stuff. The secondary fire, now that I can actually access it, press your secondary fire button. Oh my god, the crosshairs changed. So good, so yummy, such high tech. And now if you hover over enemies, that's all you gotta do. Hover over, you will see they will get this lock-on feature. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And now my weapon is fully locked on to 5 targets. That's the maximum of 5. If I fire right now, I will be expanding my charge, but also I'm going to be firing 5 rockets, essentially 5 homing missiles that will meet their targets. Take a look at this. I'm just going to fire straight up and boom, boom, boom. Fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely glorious, and of course, they do deal a whole lot of damage. Speaking about damage, the primary fire upon contact explodes in a 1.6 meter radius, so bear that one in mind. The homing projectiles, when they explode, 3 meter radius. And that's pretty much it for functionality. What can I say? These are projectiles, right? And when you're dealing with projectiles, you kind of gotta lead your targets depending on the speed of the projectiles. And these are kind of fast, and we also got a weapon excellence mod slot, so there's that. It's a pretty easy weapon to use. It has one major issue when it comes to usability, but more on that later. Speaking of later, mod capacity, 60 out of 60. And if your Sepulcrum comes with 30 out of 30, and it really should, jump into actions and plug in the Orokin Catalyst, doubling your mod capacity. You can pay 20 plat for this one to have it installed. You can grind it from Nightweave, and you can get a blueprint from the Daily Sortie. Some events in Warframe also feature an Orokin Catalyst as a possible or guaranteed reward. The Sepulcrum comes with 0 polarities. Yeah, actually, that's not true. That's fake news. It does come with a V symbol in the Weapon Excellence mod slot, so it is a Forma heavy weapon. In the Weapon Excellence mod slot, since we're talking about it, should I unlock it? Yeah, you should definitely go for it. You can go lethal momentum if you so desire, 40% projectile speed, or if you hate the recoil, steady in the hands, minus 60% recoil. Those are my 2 favorite ones. If you decide, however, let's talk about Magnum Force now, shall we? And we'll talk about the rest later. Multi-shot with Magnum Force, Battle Diffusion, Lethal, Torrent, of course. Now, here's the thing about this weapon. Will you be going for a headshot with it, or will you be taking the console approach and simply aim for the feet? Both approaches are fine, but keep in mind that this is, my friends, a critical weapon. So ideally, you want to leverage the headshot multiplier when it comes to crit. Look at the cards right now. If you want to understand how critical chance and critical damage works in Warframe, trust me, it's a bit more convoluted than it might seem. Now, with Magnum Force going straight for a headshot like that, some of the projectiles, I don't know if you see that, will be going off the crosshairs. If they're going off the crosshairs, you might not get your headshot. So bear that one in mind. It's hard to actually demonstrate this actually show you which of the little projectiles go off the target, because they are simply not all that visible. These are the projectiles even with bright energy, but as you can see, they're kind of all over the place. Magnum Force is up to you. I wouldn't use it on a critical weapon though. If you just want to aim for the feet, it's fine. Anyway, there's plenty of other mods that we can leverage on the weapon. Critical chance, when it comes to the semi-automatic, you got a base of 30% with a 2.2x critical multiplier, which is quite nice indeed. A fire rate of 3.67, a magazine of 90, but effectively 45 shots, multi-shot of 1, noise alarming, green of why? What is with this? The latest weapons come with this very long reload, and I don't get why. Are they balancing the weapon after the reload? That's silly, because basically putting a long reload on something eats away at the actual enjoyment from my point of view. Not only the damage per second and blah blah blah, it's plenty damage per second in Warframe. It's fine. So there's that. It's a pretty lengthy reload on this one. Riven Disposition, as for all brand new weapons, 1 out of 5 my friends, and I do have a Riven for it, but yeah, with 1 out of 5, you gotta get a really good roll to make the Riven slottable, quote-unquote slottable on your weapon. Status chance of 14%. The damage is impact, puncture, slash. The highest amount is gonna be puncture, and the Rivens can roll minus puncture, so it makes room for slash, which is second highest on the IPS. Now this Radial Attack, I know that the stat screen on this weapon can be a little bit confusing. Now this Radial Attack belongs to the semi-automatic fire mode, and as before, you got a 1.6 meter range and 46 heat damage. The burst has more critical chance, 38%. Again, these are the homing little projectiles, missiles, whatever you want to call them, with a 3.0 critical multiplier, which is absolutely fantastic, and a 26% status chance instead of 14. And of course, you also got the Radial Attack, which again is for the little homing projectiles. 3 meter range, 480 heat damage, which is absolutely huge. It's also worth bearing in mind that the actual damage layout is the same: puncture, followed by slash, followed by impact. And that's pretty much it to the stats. Wanna have a look at the standard build? And you got damage with Hornet Strike, multi-shot with Barrel Diffusion, as well as Lethal Torrent, critical chance, critical damage combo between Pistol Gambit, Target Cracker, and we got 3 60/60 mods on this one. You got your Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, and Scorch. If you're gonna go like this, you're gonna have the fantastic combination of Vital with Heat on the weapon, which is absolutely powerful, very, very powerful, and you can also go Corroso as well if you got Jolt. It's one simple change. Instead of Frostbite, you go like so, and now you got Corrosive Heat on the weapon for full armor removal, if you want to go this route. Which is more powerful? Even when shooting corrupted heavy gunners, honestly, I would go like so. So, there's that. And of course, little momentum in the Weapon Excellence mod slot. The weapon carries a big punch like this one, and one mention I would like to make again: you do have the option of Magnum Force. Instead of what? Well, you can drop one of the 60/60s, for example, or you can drop Lethal Torrent, because the 60% multi-shot is nice and needed on the weapon, but the fire rate, are you actually gonna make use of it, considering that this is a burst weapon, though it feels more like a semi-weapon? Technically, it's semi-burst, so there's that. Level 120 Corrupted Heavy Goons, as per the usual, so we can test and all whatnot. And let's make triple sure we don't have corrosive projection or anything powder. Good. Good. We wouldn't want to skew the test results and all whatnot. Straight for headshots, as per the usual. Again, this is a critical chance weapon. This would be the maximum rate of fire that you're looking from the weapon. And don't get me wrong, that secondary fire that it has, it's definitely very powerful. But the problem is, when you're reaching higher level targets, such as these, never mind Sealed Path and all whatnot, then it's gonna charge very, very slowly. Then again, if you're dealing with targets which are easy to kill, and there's a lot of them, like, oh, I don't know, maybe the Infested, then this would be ideal. And now we got our charge and all whatnot. Let's try something, okay? We're gonna activate secondary fire. We're gonna go 1 guy, 2 girls. Actually, they're girls. Okay, then we locked on to 3, and look, there's like 2 over here, 3 over here. Shoot straight for the... Look at that. Look at that. That was fantastic, wasn't it? That was absolutely fantastic. And there's a fatality. So yes, it can definitely one-shot if it gets enough slash. Enough slash, you say? Then we put on plus IPS slash, yeah? No. We don't do that. Please don't do that. It's not really worth it on this particular weapon. What is worth it is minus puncture Rivens, or minus impact if you could get them. But again, Riven Disposition is only 1, so... it's really hard to talk about Rivens when you have that low of a Riven Disposition. So this is the kind of performance you can expect. from the weapon. Is it powerful? If you can constantly charge it and use that, let's do it one more time. One more time, maybe that wasn't enough. If you can constantly charge it against something like the Infested, because again, we are playing Heart of Deimos, there's a lot of infested bugs and all whatnot, then sure, the weapon can definitely be quite powerful. But if you're running into armored targets, such as these guys, or girls, my bad, then you're gonna have a bit of a harder time with it. And again, I do not understand why the reload. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad weapon, not by any stretch of the imagination, but did you have to gimp the gameplay with the lengthy reload? Because look at me right now, I'm gonna have to reload. Look how long it takes. It's simply not fun to execute. One more time, that beautiful, absolutely beautiful charge shot. Well, locked on shot. Ah, you saw that? I think that exploded in the wall there. You gotta be careful at your angles and all whatnot. So this might not be ideal when it comes to shooting in tight corridors. One more thing that I did notice. You know, I recommended you lethal momentum, yes? Well, sometimes that might not be the best idea. If I take off lethal momentum and use the secondary fire on this gun, they don't go as far into the air and then come back down. Then again, I'm only using the air part right now just to showcase. You can just like shoot straight for the enemies like you would. So there's that. But keep in mind that about lethal momentum. What's next? Oh yes, Riven setups. No, I'm sorry, to get a Riven that would be worth putting on the weapon, I would have to roll something like multi-shot damage negative. I would have to roll critical chance multi-shot negative. Or damage critical chance negative. Something like that, okay? The priority for the weapon is gonna be multi-shot, critical chance damage, and a negative. Ideally double positive, one negative, because again, you don't have a whole lot of stats on these. But you can go triple positive with those stats. Critical damage is powerful on the weapon, don't get me wrong, but I would go for critical damage, critical chance, multi-shot damage, and a harmless negative. That would be a overall priority from my humble point of view. And with Riven Disposition of 1, I'm sorry, my friends, with all my luck, this is the best I could get, so there you go. What we are gonna be doing, however, is going to Prime mods, okay? So we got Prime Pistol Gamba, Prime Target Crack, Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, and Scorch. And for all you Corrosive lovers, by the way, I am a big fan of Corrosive, just saying, we will change the Corrosive as well. I know I highlight a lot of viral builds because they're more powerful, but at heart, I'm still a Corrosive fan, so bear that one in mind. Let's stay up here. Will it help me with anything? Not really, but I like to stay up here. Though this makes it harder to actually hit your target. So this is the kind of performance you can expect with a Riven. Is it a lot more powerful? Well, the critical chance definitely helps. You get a lot more crit and you can leverage that high critical multiplier. The weapon, from my point of view, is definitely a decent weapon. And against the Infested, it really comes to life. But it's definitely not top 10 material or anything of the sort. If you got Prime mods, of course, you're gonna go straight for Prime mods. Now one more time, let's try it with a little bit of corrosive damage quickly before my baby daughter wakes up and she wants milky. Alright, so we're just gonna have to replace a single 60-60. Quite easy, yes, like so. And now we got corrosive and heat on the weapon with 3 of the 60-60 mods. One more time, Corrupted Heavy Goons, level 120 as per the usual, and now you can get a direct comparison. This is Corrosive Heat, which is very efficient versus Corrupted Heavy Armed or defended by Ferrite Armor, and you got the comparison with Viral Heat. The choice, as always, is yours. It's not a huge difference when it comes to Corrupted Heavy Gunners, but when it comes to normal, average, everyday use, bear in mind that a lot of targets on Deimos are actually immune. Yes, I said it, immune to viral damage, so bear that one in mind. So after they basically made Viral King, they made the enemies on the brand new expansion immune to viral. Thanks a lot, D. That's a really cool move of you and all what. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's bump up everything with Warframe Buffs. As you see, the performance is nothing to sneeze at, but it's nothing to write home about either. Lady Mirage Prime? Lady Mirage Prime. I don't have the segment yet, okay? I still don't have the bloody segment because it takes a whole lot of grinding and I don't have a whole lot of time right now, but I cannot wait to pimp out Mirage, if you know what I mean. Now, yes, corrosive projection against Grenier as per the usual. Arcane Rage will not do, we'll go with Precision. For secondary weapons, farm from the third Eidolon down on Cetus, just like Arcane Avenger, R5. 45% critical chance, bonus additive after, so it simply stacks on top of what you already have. It applies to your primary, secondary, melee as well. This is a secondary weapon, so no need to go for a Sentinel and the Vigilante mods, the bonus will not apply. And I gotta say, this is a really cool design for an Orokin weapon, but I have seen a lot of opinions that it's ugly and all whatnot. You can use a skin. How about this skin? You guys like this skin or maybe this skin? This skin, again, you can use plenty of skins if you don't like the design. On the weapon, let's pump up the level to 150, as per the usual. Invisibility off, wait, like this, pause the eye. And now they can hit me, and I can get my glorious buffs. Activate Mirage's free ability for a massive, absolutely massive damage increase, as well as her ever so lovely balloons. Let's see, can I one-shot? Ha mama! Now I feels alive. And the weapon definitely comes alive when you can charge it a whole lot faster. See, I got a charge. I'm just gonna annihilate that. There he goes. Can we catch him? Can we catch him? We didn't catch him. Damn it. We didn't catch him. So there's that. I apologize. I tried hard, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Of course, this is Mirage Prime, and Mirage Prime is an extremely powerful Warframe when it comes to actually buffing, not so much surviving, but now we got the helmet system, so I will be able to put a survivability ability on her. That's definitely what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna resist the temptation to put on more damage. For example, I can use Rhino Roar in combination with Eclipse, and from what I understood, they do actually stack over the Beautiful! Now you see them. Now you don't. But it's now you see them, now you don't, with a little bit of prep work. So there's that. I'm pretty sure they're gonna patch the Rhino Roar thing, so there's that to bear in mind, my friends. You might not get to enjoy it a whole lot. As always, oh wait, conclusions. Yes, conclusions about the Sepulcrum. It's not a bad secondary weapon. I like the gimmick. I like the charge thing. I definitely like the homing projectiles, which are absolutely fantastic. You know what I don't like? Why would you put on a weapon of this caliber? Ooh, beautiful. On a weapon of this caliber, a 4-second reload. Don't get me wrong, the magazine is good enough at 45 shots for a semi-automatic weapon, but again, it's not really needed to have that long of a reload on these weapons. While they may be strong enough for mostly everything in Warframe, they're not that powerful. Again, they're not top tier or anything of the sort. However, subjective tiers may be in Warframe, tiers of performance and all whatnot. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to kill just that guy. And I think that's pretty much it for me, my friends. From my humble point of view, I would still build a weapon because it is kind of cool, subjectively cool, but if you don't find the gimmick appealing and you don't think you'd be enjoying this type of gameplay, then you can skip this one entirely. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And if you got any sorts of feedback for me, by all means, drop it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below, if you guys want to suggest any particular type of content. And yes, I'm working my way through demos, farming everything, and getting you guys reviews on all the brand new weapons. You can also find me on Twitch. Really, I stream. Check out the description. Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. And if you enjoy the content, consider supporting us via Patreon. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye.